Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ed Sheeran, and you look perfect tonight. All right, I'm going to be talking about weather because everybody loves weather while fully embracing my unlikableness. Sounds good? First of all, if you are not a person who believes in candy choice freedom, you need to get off THORNEWS because candy corn is a candy and it's delicious. And those little pumpkins they make that come around during Halloween, they're extra delicious candy corn. If you can't deal with that, I ain't got time for you. You ain't got to like it. You just have to be okay with people liking candy corn. Okay, so, yep, here comes the weird, wild, wacky weather. We got lucky in the last giant storm because it split into two kind of. Although some people said some of the coastal flooding was as bad as it's been since Sandy. So take it however you want to. Okay, I made an amazing scientific discovery. Oh no, somebody just crapped their pants because my ear got too big. That's fine. You can always buy new pants. And I was going to make a joke there that was going to be disgusting, but I stopped myself. I have self-control. That is wonderful. Let's all try and use self-control, shall we? Okay, so you got this new atmospheric river that continues to reform over Mexico, through Texas, and then go up the East Coast, causing a lot of flooding problems. And I'm pretty sure this thing is going to stick with us for a while, and by a while, I mean years. So we should be making preparations if we're the type of people who do that type of shit. But, we're not. Not right now. But hey, maybe things will change in the future. Who knows? A bunch of people are going to vote. Apparently that saves the world. Okay. I'm like, what if my passion issue is the $21 trillion debt? Which party do I vote for to get that thing down? People are like, shut up, leave me alone. Okay, so you got a giant atmospheric river coming, right? And it's going to move east. That's the pattern of these things. And you're like, Thor, is it going to be that bad? And yeah, it's going to be bad. I mean, some people are probably going to die, just a couple. But that could be prevented if they paid attention, stayed on top of things. And it's going to be really flooding in the middle of America, kind of near the Edgar Cayce point, but you can only be paranoid if that's what you like to enjoy. And then for us here in Houston and around the East Texas area, we're going to have to watch out for tornadoes. And what is more Halloween-y, and this is tomorrow, what is more Halloween-y than tornadoes? Because remember when Dorothy got dressed up like Dorothy for Halloween and then got caught by a tornado and then went to the Wizard of Oz and then thought boating would save everything, and then she looked behind the curtain and realized there was a bunch of trillionaires who have 1 trillion times more money than we do, and they run everything? That's where we're at. Except nobody's pulled the curtain back but me, and now I'm lonely. Nobody ever died from loneliness, right? Asterisk. Okay, so if you were in this bullseye, and I'm right about here, then yep, and be careful, because tornadoes are not fun. Have you ever been caught out in a tornado with your britches down? Me neither, and right now is not the time to start either. Okay, and then we are looking at the sun. I don't know if you know this, but the sun powers all the weather. One time a guy was like, can you prove that carbon isn't the main driver of everything? I said, yeah. If the sun shut off, would that change the weather? Boom, I proved it. Great. We got a giant kernel hole, and giant kernel holes are kind of like when the sun gets lazy and doesn't want to put up a giant shield, so it allows its insides to pour out like breath, or if you want to be immature, like a giant fart. So we're going to get solar wind hitting us in about 2 or 3 days. And that usually causes a bit of an uptick in earthquakes, which will make it interesting because we have been seeing an uptick in earthquakes for about 2.5 months now. If you love to be fascinated by earthquakes and all their inner workings, I highly recommend Suspicious Observers and Dutch Sense to complete your data set, but always be prepared, have a plan, and try and enjoy every moment you can. Now, we're going to look at the models, and remember, models are like supercomputers, And these are the same supercomputers that told everyone that your mortgage-backed securities were AAA back in 2006. So they are prone to make mistakes. But it's usually in a banker's favor. When was the last time you went to the ATM and it spit out an extra 20 in your favor? Maybe never. It's never happened to me. What's it talking about? Oh yeah, so as you can see, we got a giant front moving slowly. And the areas in the red are the areas that could see some spin-ups in the upper atmosphere, which then spins up in the lower atmosphere, touches the ground, causes a tornado. Sharknado. I just like saying it. All right. Now let us go over what I'm talking about here. Is Wednesday, and we start to see some snow moving in Colorado and New Mexico. And then we get our almost V-shape moving in. And then things start to explode later at night. As you can see, the heavy red is heavy rain. And then boom, it starts to get really nasty. And that is a nasty, nasty frame. That is a lot of heavy rain over Louisiana and the surrounding states. Have fun with geography. So it looks like Louisiana, you guys could be getting some heavy rain over a 12 to 18 hour period. Then it supposedly calms down a little, but over 5 days, this area is going to get pretty nasty. They're like, how nasty is it going to get, Thor? And I'm like, well, let me find an example for you. Where'd I put it? Oh, sometimes you get dumb. That's okay. Ignorance is bliss. Here you go. I already showed you guys this. But this is going to be a large swath of heavy rain throughout the area over the next few days. So everybody needs to be paying attention. If that's your thing, man. If not paying attention is your thing, then do that too. It's still a free country. Asterisk. All right, we're looking at river flooding because that's what turns the ladies on. And ladies, I'm here to please. All right, we're down to 44 rivers flooding right now, which is the lowest I think I've seen it in like 2 months. My super severe weather watch expires in 2 days, so that is good news. But as you can see, some of the areas that will be getting rain still are dealing with flooding problems. Like 2 days ago, I had to get the hell out of my apartment, and so I just drove around for a while. Sometimes I'll just drive nowhere, follow the signs. And I went by the Colorado River, and damn, that was high. It was like an hour and a half outside west of Texas. It's pretty dang high, man. So we got situations that might be exacerbated in the future. You don't know what exacerbated means? That's fine. I don't either. Sometimes you can use words and people can't tell you don't know what they mean. Somebody was like, hey, dude, you need to do your show without the jokes. I was like, hey, dude, everybody does their show without the jokes. So why don't you go find a place that's everywhere else? And I love you. All right. I don't know if it's a man or woman. I love everybody. It's part of my charm. Then we got some giant things there that are rolling off Africa. And your Azores high right now is kind of looped here. But I got a funny feeling, and it's only a funny feeling, that we might see hurricane activity in the middle of November. Although I have no evidence to base this off of, and other than the Azore high is going to be mega stacked. And so that's just a hunch. And if I start making a bunch of videos saying, hey, oh God, here comes a hurricane, then you can start to worry. But right now, you ain't got to worry. But hurricane season does not end to the end of November. Did I mention I love you? Great. That's what the world needs, more love, understanding, and forgiveness. But if your favorite thing is people yelling at people about politics without ever listening, then, man, this is the world for you. On the week left of the election. Yay. All right, so as you can see, now we're moving into about the 6th. Election day, it's going to be kind of stormy as we get these giant swaths coming up through here. And hey, people in Europe and the UK, you guys are going to hit some pretty big rainstorms in the future. Also, Willa, who started down here by Mexico, went up through here, crossed over, hit the East Coast, now is headed towards the United Kingdom. But they say it's going to go north, y'all, only bringing some rain. But sometimes I like to obsess about the size of the rain bands because green is rain. And we're seeing some giant moisture signatures coming on this map. Gross, TMI. But see, like, here's what I'm talking about. And I'm not going to refer to this as a misshaped. You can do that at home. In the home version of THORNEWS Weather Fun. As you can see, you still got, well, here's right around the date I'm talking. What do you know? You got a little dot. And I just had a weird hunch. I use the Force. I'm a Norse Christian Jedi. You don't have to agree with that or like it or whatever, man. Faith is the most personal thing a human being can have. All right. You know what? I don't need anybody preaching to me about Jesus, because literally nobody I know of preached against greed the last 30 years. And the main thing the Bible said was the love of money is the root of all evil. And so people have been like, when you say fuck, that's evil. Or gay people are evil. Or like they've been pointing out everything that's evil except for greed. And well, greed has damn near destroyed our world. 60% of all the animals are dead. They used to be here. We killed 60% of a bunch of animals, man. I'll make a long video about that. But I'm just saying, you know, man, I'm here to give you information. Put a smile on your face. But I respect your right to believe whatever you want to believe when it comes to God and the universe. I don't need anybody preaching at me for sure. Okay? Only God can judge. Man, I was being all hilarious, and then I went off on a religious tangent. Yeah, and I know people don't like it, the fact that here in a free country that you're allowed to believe whatever you want to, and that everyone can respect that. But it's like nobody has major evidence that proves their point. Everybody's got a book that was written 2,000 years ago, and they use that as evidence. Technically, it won't hold up in a court of law. And there was the whole Nicene Council. All right, I better end this video. But seriously, that's another whole thing. Like, if you are going to try and preach at me, talk to me about the Nicene Council and their editing choices. And I love you. Also, THORNEWS is a publicly funded YouTube channel. Everybody's either telling you votes are going to save the world if you vote for Republican, or votes are going to save the world if you vote for Democrat. I'm not here to do that, man. I'm here to tell you that our world is run by a oil and military industrial complex. And that since JFK had his brains blown out all over his wife, they've been in control. You don't have to believe that, but look at the price of oil. And then look at our $21 trillion debt, which is technically like $60 trillion. And that's on top of the $3 trillion they were spending in taxpayer money every year. So like over the last 20 years, they spent like $80 trillion on what? I don't even know. Probably badass Martian condominiums and shit like that. Underground mansions and stuff. All right, well, I'm way off the rails. Anyway, so if you want to help continue me putting out awesome, unbiased information, then I would appreciate it if you would send in contributions and donations, because that's how I make my living. That's how I pay my bills and rent and stuff. But I don't know. Funny people are dying breed. And if you want to get rid of us all, then I guess you can starve me out. But I love you, and I appreciate you. I thank you for being here with me on this wild, weird, and wacky journey. Everybody stay cool, unless not staying cool is your thing. Because like I said, Dorothy, why don't you go look behind the curtain? Get off the yellow brick road for a second there. God bless everyone.